Welcome to Amity School of Natural Resources and Sustainable Development and Amity Business School, presenting 1 week compulsory training course on effective leadership and conflict management for Indian Forest Service officers, beginning today till 14th of November 2025. Before we start with this program, this 1 week compulsory training course, let me give you a glimpse about Amity University. So today Amity University is 12 universities in India with 16 global campuses with more than 28 schools and preschools. We all follow the ideals of our honorable founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir. Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, our honorable founder president, believes that every Amitian has to be a nation builder. और ऐसा क्यों ना हो, बढ़ेगा इंडिया तभी तो आगे बढ़ेगा इंडिया. Now, founder president believes that we all have to become a knowledge superpower, and when it is 2047, भारत को जब हम विकसित बना चुके होंगे, हम सभी का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण योगदान होगा. Our Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan sir, believes that together we can change the world. Please welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla ma'am. Please rise to welcome. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am has been very busy today. So many meetings and especially of the Academic Council. Yeah, it's a pleasure and delight to welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, seated on the dais. Now, Dr. Balvinder Shukla, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Anand Mohan, IFS, Additional Director General of Forest and CEO, Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority, Campa, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, New Delhi, together with our chief guest, Ambassador A.K. Mudgal, IFS retired, former High Commissioner Mauritius, and of course, the convener of the program, Dr. S. P. Singh, Director, Amity School of Natural Resources and Sustainable Development. कहा जाता है विद्या वो जो मानव को बंधनों से मुक्त करती है. I welcome everybody to this 1 week compulsory training course for the IFS officers on effective leadership and conflict management. APJ Abdul Kalam ji once said that to build India of our dreams, we must lead with integrity, act with courage, and manage conflicts with wisdom. That remains the basis of this 1 week compulsory training program. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all the IFS officers who we are very proud of. I will now request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly proceed for lighting the ceremonial lamp. We begin with all the events in Amity by lighting the ceremonial lamp. I'll request Vice Chancellor ma'am, our chief guest and guest of honor, to please proceed.
हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ. हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ. तू स्वर की देवी है, संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे. तू स्वर की देवी है, संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे. हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, तेरी शरण में हमें प्यार दे माँ. हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ. मुनियों ने समझी है, गुणियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा, पुराणों की वाणी. मुनियों ने समझी
चाहे कितना घना अंधकार हो, एक दिया ही काफी है उस अंधकार को मिटाने को. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember Dale Carnegie who once said that when dealing with people, we have to remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic. Rather, we are dealing with creatures of emotion. It is truly in between the lines that we find the significance of this 1 week compulsory training course on effective leadership and conflict management for IFS officers. Ladies and gentlemen, also please acknowledge on the dais our additional Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Sanjeev Bansal, sir. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now to present the theme of this conference, the welcome address, and also to introduce the IFS officers who are participating in this program, I'll invite Dr. S.P. Singh, sir, who's Director, Amity School of Natural Resources and Sustainable Development, to present his address. Dr. S.P. Singh.
Good morning. Let me start the word welcome. That is more than sufficient. I am pursuing all of you this last 10 or 15 days vigorously, and some of you may really become a very, feeling odd that this gentleman from Amity is so much pursuing, nobody pursue. But I wish, this is my personal interest. My personal interest that I wish to see my youngsters, and I feel more young when I interact with you. So this is the objective of my theme, you see. Regarding, I should be very grateful our Ambassador Anu Mudgalji. He has not taken a single word. I said, Mudgal Sahab, I wish you want to meet the forester, they are coming. Oh, this is my pleasure, I want to come. So thank you very much, Mudgal Sahab, that you have come. Again, in the evening around 9 p.m., Dr. S.K. Avasti, Director General of Forest, spoke to me and what has happened to you? No, sir, I am busy. Now, Anand is coming to attend you, and immediately I contacted him. So, thank you very much, Anand Sahab, that you have come with a short notice. The fact thing is, what is writing a training? Actually, it is not a training. It's simply a experience sharing. And all we know that we got a lot of training in leadership in IGNFA, Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy, National Police Academy, and in various institutions. But this is the place where you can see a real case studies of leadership of our beloved founder, President Ashok Kumar Chauhan Sahab, who always take a keen interest on this training. And this training program for Indian Forest Service is started since 2005 by our very beloved Principal Chief BKP Sinha Sahab and JC Kala Sahab. So, and we are trying to continue it. There are other examples that you are getting a training in the Leh or IFS Bhopal or Dehradun. All the places you will get a very comfortable lifestyle. Probably I may not able to give that kind of, but certainly I will give you a different kind of atmosphere. See what is happening out that system. So this is the right place to see. I'm again very much thankful to Dr. Parminder Shuklaji. She is having today an academic council, which is very important meeting. We all working since morning 7:30 a.m. and every day we are leaving around 11 p.m. So thank you, ma'am, that you have spared the time. I was very grateful, and I able to impress upon that I'm so near to Parminder Shuklaji that always is attending. So thank you very much. Similar words also by Sanjeev, who is the co-partner on doing this. He said, when you are doing on a leader friendship, I will take participate, and probably this time I have taken most faculty from the Amity Business School, which is one of the best Amity schools. So I am just shorting, and I will interact you later on. Thank you very much. Let me introduce. There are presently 16 IFS officer has confirmed. Few will join because of some cancellation of flight. They are from 14 states. So if you can kindly just tell from which state you are involved with, and they are from 1989 batch to 2018, means vertical seniority from principal chief level to DFO. And I remember when I joined first time, this training was started in 87, and I was that time ACF Dibrugarh. I landed over the Inaugural, and I saw how can I speak in front of PCCF? We have only one word, yes sir, yes sir. But we landed the Inaugural. All my seniors provoked me because I was the junior most to speak, and that developed a lot of confidence in me that the thing which we cannot do at our own state, but we can go out. So this is the kind of training. It is a training, relaxing, getting interaction, and feel what you feel, which you are not able to say in your states. So I request to make a brief.
Good morning, everyone. I am Prashant Kumar Singh, IFS 2009 batch from Madhya Pradesh cadre, and presently I am posted as Working Plan Officer in Khandwa district of MP.
Good morning all. I am MZ Singh sir from Mizoram segment of Baghmut cadre, presently working as Chief Wildlife Warden.
Good morning, everybody. Myself, Pitan Darang, Arunachal segment of Akmu. I'm of 2012 batch and presently serving as a DFO, Morning National Park, Arunachal Pradesh. Thank you.
So, namaskar, sir.
Namaskar sir, this is Sunil Kumar, 2012 batch, presently under Home Department and Additional Architect.
Sir, good morning, sir. Madam, I'm Prashant, 2015 batch. I'm from Karnataka. I'm presently working as the Managing Director, Karnataka Soaps and Milk Detergents.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jagat Ram. I am from Mandi, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka cadre 89 batch. I am Principal Chief Conservator of Forest and Member Secretary, Karnataka Wildlife Board, Bangalore.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Satpal from Jammu and Kashmir. I belong to 2010 batch of Indian Forest Service, and presently I am working as Conservator of Forests, West Circle, Rajouri.
Good morning, sir. I am Satan Maurya, Agmut Cadet Officer of 20 batch. I am posted at DFO Udhampur in JNK.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. I am Kalunge Gorak Waman, 2013 batch Odisha cadre. Presently, I am serving as a Director of Horticulture under Government of Odisha. Thank you.
Good morning, sir and madam. Myself, Dheeraj Kumar. I am from 21 batch and currently serving as DCF Surat, Gujarat. Thank you.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, sirs. I am Vijay Lakshmi from Haryana, 2012 batch, presently posted at DFO Panipat.
Good morning.
To all the IFS officers and welcome to Amity University. आपके आने से हमारी ज़मीन का जहां और ज़्यादा बड़ा हो गया. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Amity University proudly welcomes all the IFS officers and participants of this one-week compulsory training program in the presence of the illustrious days. I take this opportunity to now request our dignitaries on the dais to welcome our guests for the day. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla ma'am, together with Professor Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay, Chairman, Amity Law Schools, Mentor, Environmental Sciences Domain, and Chief Advisor to our Founder President's Office, to welcome our chief guest, Ambassador A.K. Mudgal, IFS retired, former High Commissioner of Mauritius, to present a thesis sapling, and also to welcome Sir with a shawl and a memento, which is a token of our love and gratitude from the portals of Amity University. Thank you, Ambassador Mudgal, for gracing the occasion. This Tulsi sapling showcases our green initiatives at Amity. All our campuses are green. 12 universities in India and 16 global campuses are all green, and we always initiate all those formalities which the Government of India sings in with the natural resources domain. Thank you. In the same breath, I'll now request Additional Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Sanjeev Bansal sir and Vice Chancellor ma'am, to now welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Anand Mohan, IFS, Additional Director General of Forest and CEO, Campa, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, New Delhi. Thank you, Anand Mohan sir. I know you have also taken out time from your busy schedule today. Thank you so much. We are so humbled with your presence. This is a token of our love and gratitude and warmth from the portals of Amity University. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion. VC ma'am and additional Pro VC sir for doing the honors. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Well, everyone, I remember Ralph Nader, who once said that the function of leadership is to produce more leaders, those who inspire and empower and who transform, and that will remain the basis of Viksit Bharat 2047. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are honored to have stalwarts of academia and administration amongst us today, whose leadership continues to inspire generations. One such person is Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay, who is a multifaceted scholar, academician, and administrator. Being 3 times Vice Chancellor, he has been in different committees of the government, such as Chairman, Technical Executive Committee for Access to Knowledge, DSIR, Member General Council and Executive Committee for National Accreditation Board, New Delhi, Chairman, Finalization of Indian Standard on Educational Services, Bureau of Indian Standards, and being honored with several awards, including Keval Noria Award for Academic Leadership in Management Education, Mary Billy Award, Dr. Radha Krishnan Memorial Award, and much more. Please welcome Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay, sir.
So at the outset, on behalf of the entire Amity universe, our Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, and our Chancellor, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor sitting over here, welcome you to the beautiful, sprawling, academically vibrant campus. They say that a shoeman knows where the shoe pinches. You are all working in the field, majorly, either initial days of your career, or you try to understand what exactly has been happening in the field. So our purpose is not to tell you आप क्या क्या conflict face कर रहे हैं, but certainly we can give you an abstract form of the conflicts that generally you face. Point number one. Point number two, is there any case studies that actually has taken care of those conflicts? Let us highlight them. Let us learn them. And third, most important thing for such type of training program is that experience sharing. Your experience of Karnataka, somebody's experiences for Haryana, somebody's experiences from other states, because every state have their own nuances. And forest being in the concurrent list, there is many problems that arises. So one or 3 or 4 cases I like to highlight it. My honorary dignitaries sitting on the dais, including our ambassador sir, our Mohanji, our own Mohanji. I am telling you Mohanji because I do not know whether you could recollect me or not. I was the director of the Institute of Forest Management. So you must be knowing that at that time you must be in the lower position. Yeah. So we have conducted such type of training program, many training programs. You must have heard the name of Institute of Forest Management. Must be knowing it. Many of you do come on deputation to that institutions. Now let us see Periyar Tiger Reserve. One example, one case study. What the case study says, the frequent confrontations between forest staff, fringe village residents over access, poaching, suspicion and tourism restrictions. That was the conflict. Now, how the issues got resolved, just in brief, I am just telling you. Communities felt alienated, protection staff faced hostility. And how they mitigated it? That created eco-development committees. You must be creating that eco-development committees, offered alternative livelihoods, guiding petroleum jobs, micro enterprises, transparent benefit sharing, and as a matter of fact, there's a sharp decline in conflict. Periyar became a national model for participatory conservation. Participatory conservation, that's the most important thing. Second case study, I can highlight it, Gir landscape, Gujarat. What happened there? Conflict, lion-human conflict, political pressure, and compensation disputes. Compensation, you know that all the time, very, very disputable issues. How do you really measure the compensation? Guidelines are there, but again, to have the money from the government is again very, very difficult proposition. But how do you resolve it? But what they did it, that issues that came, high livestock depredations and occasional human attacks created public anger and media pressure on the department. So how they resolved it? Mitigated it, set up rapid response team, standardized and expedited compensation delivery with digital verification, intensive awareness program in villages, improved night patrolling, and as a matter of fact, outcome was faster conflict resolution and improved public cooperation, reduced retaliatory actions. Then similarly, another important thing that from Maharashtra that can be quoted, that generally they are quoted in terms of the tribal relocation versus conservation need. That's a very, very important issue, that many of the forest became the national reserve forest. Then those people who are staying, forest dwellers, how do you relocate them? They have their own issues, they have their own way of living, standard of living. Their livelihoods became a threat. So essentially there was a huge amount of conflicts. So how they did it? Tribal relocation versus conservation need. So several villages in core areas registered relocation due to mistrust and poor historical experiences. So what are the mitigation steps they did it? This is a learning point. Conducted prolonged consultation in each village, used third-party facilitator to build trust. Third party. Because when there are two parties are working, because conflict generally happens when there are many stakeholders fighting for the same resources. So in that case, you need third party to intervene. So use third party facilitator to build trust. Improve rehabilitation sites first, then offer voluntary relocations. And outcome, villages relocated voluntarily over time and conflict lowered, and essentially the issue got resolved too. These are some cases, many such type of cases you must have handled it. I can give one example, which I faced it when I was the director of Indian Institute of Forest Management. It's a huge campus, you know that 85 acres campus is beautiful hilltop. Now that place is full of forest, and it's a beautiful place for the chandan tree, red chandan tree to grow. Now villagers used to come and they cut those chandan trees. And as a matter of fact, as there was no as such any boundary wall, then the people used to enter through the hill below the hill, and they used to climb and then cut those trees. And it was also threatened. Lots of students were staying there. Then conflict arose. Then there was lots of beating took place. Then what I did, I interfaced with the district magistrate, Mr. Shukla. Through Mr. Shukla, I again reached to the PCCF. We had a meeting with those persons, and those who are actually staying or captured the land of the institutions, they have been staying there for 20 years. They say, sir, where do we go? What about our livelihood? You will be creating a boundary wall, no doubt. But what do we do? Then we had a series of meetings, and then under the government of India, housing projects, house dwelling was taking place, and Acha, theek hai. Dueling is taking place, and finally we could talk to them, and they were relocated happily. And we went there, visited them twice or thrice, and they said, it's okay. Now we are trying to find out what is going to be the best for us to find out alternative, find out livelihood. Now, such type of strategies, that no strategies can be unique, no strategies can be applicable from one place to another place. Depending upon the local values, local ethos, local systems, strategies need to be worked out. But conflict will be there and going to be there, because it's a resource allocation, resource utilization, political pressure, political intervention, transfer, and so on and so forth. Now, I think this, training program will give you the lots of flexibility and understanding of each other, and then see what type of conflict you are facing, what type of arrangements you have made it. Can you share each other? That will be great learning. And then, of course, this program will find its value. And I promise you, under the dynamic leadership of our Vice Chancellor, we all the time talk about, once you are coming over here, you will go with a great good experiences. And you will never ever feel that you are an outsider. You will get assimilated with Amity and you will become an Amitian. So I wish you all the best. Have a good time over here. Enjoy your time. Experience, again, share the experiences, learn from each other, and you also educate us, because you are directly from the field. A shoe man knows where the shoe pinches. You know where the shoe pinches. So why not we share it? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay, sir. Wonderful address, and I think so many learning points. Sir is himself a great academic leader. Thank you so much, sir. Well, everyone, I remember Martin Luther King Jr., who said that a leader is not a searcher of consensus. He's a molder of consensus. Well, in that context, it's a privilege to have with us another academic leader on the dais, none other than Professor Dr. Sanjeev Bansal, sir, Dean FMS, Director of Amity Business School, Additional Pro Vice Chancellor of Amity University. Sir has written more than 74 books and much more.
Good morning, everyone. So, when you feel that you do not know anything and still you are being shown as that you know everything, it is actually embarrassing. So that is why I stopped her. There are two types of people in this world. One who know they do not know. Second, they know they do not know, still they pretend they know. I'm in the first category. Good morning, everyone. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madam, His Excellency A.K. Mudgal ji, Shri Anand Mohan ji, respected Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay ji, Ambassador R.M. Agarwal ji, Shri S.P. Singh ji, and all esteemed trainers who have a uphill task of giving a training to the people who are already the trainers, who actually are in the masters in their respective fields, and above all the participants here. I do not know much about leadership. I am on the learning path. I am a teacher by choice, and for the last 36 years I am in teaching. Few things which I know about leadership is, one is vision. It's my fortune to be working with a group called Amity, where this is my 20th year, and I have privilege to be working under the mentorship and guidance of our honorable founder president, who is a great visionary. When I started my journey, it was only one school, which I am heading, Amity Business School, since 95. And today, it will be slightly amazing, but we have our presence in all the 7 continents. I am not missing on geography. I am including Antarctica also, and presence of 17 plus countries, and we have reached to now 20 plus states. But when I started my journey, and when our founder president used to say that I would be having a university in each of the state, nobody used to believe. That is called vision. So when I say vision is something which is not known to everyone, which cannot be created. It's a gift of Almighty. The second quality of leadership is keep on evolving, to keep on learning.
and all of you are leaders. Why I am saying so? Because if you have chosen this path to come for this training, then you are all leaders. I could see Jagat Ramji, who has 36 years plus experience, 89 batch he said. So if he is here to attend this training program, it's a testimonial to the fact that you are all great learning. So I will not say much here since we have too many days, but I would be just saying to you all that please take these 2 days as a great learning experience. It will be a learning experience for you also. It will be a learning experience for all the trainers also and all the people who would be taking these through your notes, through the outcome of this conference, outcome of this training program. We would be definitely in a position to tell many that what leadership is. Wish you all a very good training program. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Additional Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Bansal sir. You always inspire us, sir. Then everyone, it is said that before you become a leader, success means evolving yourself. But once you become a leader, it is about how you make others grow. That is, Jack Welch once said. Okay, well, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my privilege and our privilege together to hear from Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University. NAM's leadership has been instrumental in fostering a culture of academic excellence and innovation at Amity Education Group, a distinguished academician and a guiding force for the students and faculty alike. MAM embodies the spirit of collaboration and progress. Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla, ma'am, has been the key team members spearheading Amity Education Group, a goldsmith who has polished all of us. Please welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla.
Most respected Honorable Founder President, sir, Honorable Chancellor, our Chief Guest, Ambassador A.K. Mudgalji, IFS, former High Commissioner Mauritius, and Shri Anand Mohanji, the guest of honor, IFS CEO of National Compensatory Affordation Fund, esteemed colleagues, Dr. Bandapadaji, who have left. I know that he is very, very busy at this moment. Dr. Sanjeev Bansal, Dr. S.P. Singh ji, all the distinguished participants from the different states. I really extend a very warm welcome to all of you here at Amity University. I must congratulate Dr. Sanjeev Bansal, our additional provisions and Dean Management Studies, and Dr. S.P. Singh ji, the head of the domain of natural resources and environment studies, for developing this is a highly relevant and timely topic for 1 week training course for Indian Forest Service officers on the topic effective leadership in conflict management, as it directly addresses some of the most pressing challenges faced in the forest management today. And at the outset, I would like to thank our Honorable Founder President for his visionary leadership in establishing the domain of natural resources and environment studies, and specifically an institution of natural resources, which was started at the time of Professor B.K.P. Sinhaji joined Amity University. Subsequently, now the able leadership of Professor S.P. Singh is leading this institution. And I would also like to thank our Honorable Chancellor for his dynamic leadership, continued guidance and support, which has enabled us to pursue the university mission with dedication and passion. The conflict in all domains are bound to happen, and that's what the challenge is for the leadership. But especially in the context of forest management, there also the conflict are quite common because of forests are shared resources involving multiple stakeholders. At the same time, these common resources are depleting year after year. and also that the overlapping interest the competing demands are there, and and also the differences in the perception of the people. So both climate and the non-climate factors such as insecure tenure rights, ecosystem degradation, and the growing demand for forest goods and products and services are likely to intensify these conflicts in the years to come. And this 1 week training program is very timely planned. And I was saying this program is aligned with the Viksit Bharat vision, the technology and innovation leadership, and how you can take care of the natural resources at the same time the societal needs. As the demand for sustainable forest products and the ecosystem services increases, forestry institutions and governance system are under greater pressure to perform efficiently, effectively, and equitably. If conflicts are not addressed in time, they can lead to environmental degradation, reduce the impact of the investments, and undermine the livelihoods of forest dependent communities. Communities. Hence, it is essential that the forest officers, especially those in the field, need to demonstrate effective leadership to resolve conflicts and maintain a balance between conservation priorities, national priorities, and community needs. In the rapidly evolving landscape of the 21st century, the concept of leadership has undergone a profound transformation, and I must compliment Dr. S.P. Singhji and Dr. Sanjeev Bansal that developing this 1 week training program. This new era is shaped by the technological advancements, globalization, socio-political changes, and complex environmental challenges, especially when we look at the sustainable development goals. They all demand adaptability as a core trait of effective leadership. The ability to anticipate these challenges, adjust the strategies, and seize opportunities ensures that the organization remain agile and responsive and collaborative. Innovation is equally important. Leaders must not only encourage new ideas and experimentation but also foster a culture of continuous learning and improvement. True innovation in leadership extends beyond the technology. Sometimes we think if we have introduced some technology, adopted also that's the leadership, not at all. It is very important how we are learning all the time and improving the challenges which we are facing, and how we are having the positive and transformative impact on the organization or the stakeholders. And it also encompasses the creative thinking in policy formulation, community engagement, and the sustainable resource management. We at Amity, whatever the directives comes from the University Grant Commission, the higher education, and have been of the state government of Uttar Pradesh, whatever the directives come like planting the more trees, waste management, or creating that kind of the environment, constantly we have been doing a lot of initiative we have been taking to maintain not only the um, environment within the campus but the neighborhood. Community engagements becomes very important, and Dr. S.P. Singhji, I think he is the biggest driver in the university, where he has been initiating many drives in collaboration with the various institutions to maintain or to achieve the goals which are set by the Ministry of Education, equally it is a equally vital are the inclusivity and diversity. Inclusive leaders create environment where all individuals feel valued and empowered to contribute their unique perspective. I remember that I come from the forest areas, Haldwani, Uttarakhand, and then in the now the area Sitarganj, Rudrapur area. I remember when we were very small children, and DFO used to come to our area. Used to have the discussions with the this Gram Pradhan and others. That especially I remember my father and other neighbors. They used to go to forest to cut the to get the tree things for the for the fodder, another thing for the fire, because the cooking gas was not there at that time when I was. But they used to say you only pick up the tree branches which have fallen, but not cut a single branch, because if you start hitting the plant, the tree, after some time you will not have that tree in your neighborhood forest. And if you're cutting the tree, you must plant. First, you have to cut the tree with permission. Without permission, you cannot cut. And secondly, you also have to plant the more trees. And I remember that this community engagement by the local forest officers and the district forest officers was so much in the past, because they did not wanted the hills to get tree free. And but over a period of time, we have seen that even the many of the um, the hills became the treeless because of the greed of the people. And when those contractors started coming, and today we see this impact on the landslides, impact of the so many things. And recently we have seen that because so much construction happening, and therefore it's very important for the forest officers to see that there should not be much deforestation to cater to the greed of the people. Development should be such it does not disrupt the local communities, and it does not adversely impact the environment. Otherwise, we will see that one side the development has happened, but other side the you know masses have been eroded away. So that's very important, and I'm sure while we will be discussing during 1 week in this training, we'll be talking about these important topics also, which are extremely important. And I think quite good recommendations will come from, because you are the everyday manager, and looking at that, and your issues and problems must reach to the Ministry of Forest. So the policies come such which really help the communities, help the managers, the leaders, and at the same time we are able to see that vision of Viksit Bharat, where we are talking about the so many aspects. So therefore the conflicts is an inevitable aspect of human interaction, whether in personal or professional or institutional settings. Disagreement will always arise. However, when managed effectively, conflict can become a catalyst for growth, innovation, and stronger relationships. And effective conflict management involves identifying root causes, understanding different perspectives, and applying appropriate strategies uh, for the resolution. When approached constructively, conflict leads to improved relationship, enhanced problem solving, greater innovation, and both personal and professional growth. Therefore, the leadership has very important role, and in that the communication and the proactive mindset are key, turning conflict into opportunity, and that's what is the role of the all of you. Recognizing the importance of early conflict resolution, the National Forest Policy of 1988 has placed special emphasis on the people's participation, joint forest management, and local empowerment and strategies for minimizing conflict. And I remember Forest Research Institute, Dehradun, when we were in our graduation and all, we used to have the visit to various forests like Dudhwa Forest and all, Gir Forest, and how at that time the forest officers used to explain how they are involved with the community. And there was a lot of the community forestry used to happen because all the neighborhood communities used to take all the resources from the forest, because whether it was the fodder, whether it was the wood for the fire and other things, and how they are also contributing in collaboration with the forest teams. And I'm really very happy that they are very inspiring examples of leadership transforming the forest management. For example, the revival of the tigers in Panna Tiger Reserve under the leadership of Mr. R. Srinivasa Murthy, and the successful eco development and joint forest management initiative and Harda Forest Division under Mr. B.M.S. Rathod, or the outstanding illustration of visionary and participative leadership. Many IFS officers, Dr. S.P. Singh ji keeps on sharing before the BKP. Sinha used to share and give the number of examples of the strong community involvement in wildlife protection in whether it's Manas or Kaziranga or Periyar or Gir National Forest under leadership. And I'm sure you people must be taking many time how they manage, and while in your leadership how you are bringing the new initiatives. I also take the opportunity to congratulate Dr. Sonali Ghoshi, IFS Field Director of Kanjiranga Tiger Reserve, who recently became the first Indian to receive the prestigious WCPA Carrington Miller Award and the top IUCN Conservation Award this year, only last month, and as being the first woman field officer. So these are the inspiration and motivation for all of us and examples also. And I'm very happy and delighted that all of you are here at Amity University. And our honorable founder president always says that somebody has come to Amity, was part of the training, and becomes the Amitian, and once Amitian, forever Amitian. And so this training program is not one-way interaction; it is a two-way interaction. My very esteemed colleagues, the faculty members who are part of it, they would take the learning from this training program back to their classroom, educate the students, as well as the learning which will come from you. They will take it to their area advisory board or board of studies to improve the course curriculum and improve their program structure. So thank you so very much for being here, and we have to all together work and achieve the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, that how we can conserve the resources, how we can take care of the wildlife, and at the same time how we can take care of the environment and conserve the forest. So thank you very much, and I want to congratulate Dr. Our chief guest and guest of honor for sparing your valuable time and being here, and the learning which my team is going to have is going to immense. And thank you, Professor S.P. Singh ji and Dr. Sanjeev Bansal, for designing and developing this very good program. And because all the IFS officers have to go back, what we can give the input based on the academic with the news coming, and then also learn from them how we can improve our academic and the research, and be the partner to achieve the Viksit Bharat vision. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balvinder Shukla ma'am. Great learning from ma'am's address, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, that touch of being an Amitian is really beautiful. For once an Amitian is always an Amitian. Wherever you go, your name with Amity will remain forever. At Amity, we nurture talent. And in that text and context, this 1 week compulsory training program in sync with effective leadership and conflict management reminds me of Ronald Reagan. He said that conflict management begins with understanding, and leadership is transforming that understanding into action. In that context, it's our pleasure to have with us our guest of honor, Mr. Anand Mohan, a 1996 batch IFS service officer from Rajasthan cadre, is presently the additional director of General Forest as CEO of National Campa, MOEFCC, Government of India. Mr. Mohan has served on various positions at State of Rajasthan and Government of India. Some assignments being Deputy Conservator of Forest, Government of Rajasthan, Conservator of Forest, Government of Rajasthan, Director, Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India, Chief Conservator of Forest, Government of Rajasthan, Field Director, Mukanda Hill Tiger Reserve, Rajasthan. Sir has represented national and international delegations of the Government of India. He has a wide experience in afforestation, desertification, wildlife conservation at various levels. Please welcome our guest of honor with a round of applause, Mr. Anand Mohan, IFS.
Namaskar. Good morning. Someone once said that managing human beings is so easy, but provided the man behaves like a tree, the tree which happens to be grounded, happens to be predictable, silent. As human being, we often forget those traits and somehow behave in a very erratic way. So all these courses are designed to handle those situations. Anyway, Dr. Balvinder Shukla madam, VC just she left. Dr. Sanjeev Bansal sahab, and then SP Singh sir. Is there a problem with the mic? No. Less. Okay. Anyway, Ambassador Budgal sir, a very senior foreign service officer we have amidst us. This is the first. I think this is the first event, sir. The training event in this calendar year. No. Yeah. Indian Forest Service. By the way, since the days I went to different ministries, Ministry of Urban and Consumer Affairs, further in Ministry of Jal Shakti, around 10 years since then, actually we lost the track of going into 1 week training program, because at that time, Government of India, Ministry of Environment Forest, they brought out two types of training. Rather, one was 3-day or 2-day workshop, 3-day workshop, and plus a complete 1 week training program. Primarily, this happened just because the fact that some of the courses which were very popular, they still continue, and they continue almost 2-3 times in a year. But then some of the institutes, they were not able to manage those things. So because of very poor attendance and all those things, those courses were taken away. And frankly speaking, when we come into courses like this, we get to know through various levels of seniority. As we can see here, even if we have a very less number of officers here, but still we have a strata of experience starting from as early as 2020, 2021, and senior Jagat Ram sir from Karnataka. So like that, this is a platform where actually you learn the tricks of leadership. I mean, this is nothing a new thing, but interaction among a community which is quite heterogeneous in character in terms of its experience. Learning happens. It's a very natural process because human beings tend to learn from each other's experience. my request would be that in this whole week's time, which is around 5 days, starting from Monday to Friday, although this is not the time to be the best time to be in Delhi, but still you will have good interaction going on, outdoor as well as within the classrooms and within the institute. One should be in a position, the junior ones must actually, when I used to attend the courses, I was not that senior, we used to be junior officers or middle level officers. We used to always take the views or the approaches the seniors adopted in the service, in their service matters, and interaction reflecting upon our own understanding to them and getting some small anecdotal solutions and all those things really matter. So these are the traits you actually need to develop in this particular course also. By the way, leadership is not a function of position and authority. It's not at all a function of position and authority. When we work in having spent around 30 years of my service, and my senior colleagues will also agree, it's not at all a function of authority and position. It's in fact a pure, the variables like how you influence people, how you become a mentor, how you actually you build a team through your cooperative and analytical approaches. And by the way, this training has a very, I was going through the topic and rather trying to think about that how these two things are so intertwined, yet they are so related. Conflict management and leadership. In fact, when I see the conflict management part, many a times when we come across in our own service, related issues, particularly the issues which we face in the field, many times when you resolve a conflict, or rather you build up a team, you do something out of the box many a times to resolve conflicts, you end up becoming a leader. So a leader gets born out of a conflict resolution. So this topic seems to be very, very defining and very, very precise. So on one hand, you resolve conflicts. On the other hand, you find yourself within yourself that you are coming out as a big, great leader in your system of working. Conflict resolution, as I could say that nowadays country is moving very fast, particularly when I confine myself to my own area of interest, which is the CEO as a CEO Campa. Prior to that, when I was working in Jal Shakti, there I used to handle a very important division, which was interstate river water dispute. And by the way, in that particular, although I had many other programs to monitor, but that particular act, the act of interstate water dispute resolution, this is an area where many of the states of the peninsular part of our country, they had a real very tough stand. I mean, you starting from sharing data sets to the adjoining states or the neighboring states, rather releasing water during pinch periods, even saying what they have stored in the reservoirs, all that was very, very, it's like a very tough situation. And then as a government of India, very well knowing that water being a state subject, how you manage, the management lies in how you actually resolve the conflicts. There were many umpteen number of Supreme Court cases, High Court cases, tribunals were in operations, but still the role to manage, the resolve the conflicts always remained there. Even if there is a straightforward, I recall the Kaveri dispute being resolved by Supreme Court. Lot of details were being given in that order, but still year after year, because the nature gives a very challenging task to the administrators, the people who manage. Every year is a different year in terms of water. So we had to face the problem. Even the things were very, very much cast in stone, mentioned precisely to the extent possible. But some things, some elements of conflicts remain. And then when you resolve those things as you go along, but the cardinal principle which remains that resolution of any conflict is something which is very, very collaborative. It is something where you hear all the, rather I must say that you might have been taught about the principle of natural justice. Those two principles of natural justice, here all the parties and never be a judge in your own case. These two things matter a lot. When these two principles are actually they are observed very closely by the decision maker or by the person who is going to resolve the conflict, or by the team which is going to resolve the conflict, this aspect gets actually covered. So all that is there, and it is a week's time. This time of the year is very poor in terms of air quality. This is again a challenge. This is again something which the government is trying to take care. Our ministry is the sole, authority which has the responsibility of handling this issue. But still, whenever you get a better quality of air here, this is a very green campus, sir. So you might get some relief in this part. So you continue with your interaction and engage with all participants plus the faculty members who are there. Their classes would be of great use for you. I hope so. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, our guest of honor, Shri Anand Mohanji. Ladies and gentlemen, it is said that true leadership is about speaking the language of peace with the vocabulary of strength. And that is the reading between the lines of this theme, effective leadership and conflict management. It's a proud privilege to have with us our chief guest, Ambassador A.K. Mudgal, IFS retired, former High Commissioner of Mauritius. Let me take a minute to introduce Ambassador Anup K. Mudgal, sir, a member of the Indian Foreign Service who retired in May 2016 as India's High Commissioner to Mauritius. As a part of his diplomatic career spanning 32 years, he served thrice in the headquarters of the Ministry of External Affairs, handling relations with India's neighborhood, ASEAN region, Russian Federation, and some countries of Central and Eastern Europe, as well as issues relating to human resource development. As a part of 8 assignments abroad, Ambassador Mudgal served in various capacities. Say, Brussels, Belgium, as Counselor in charge of India, EU, Trade Policy Matters, Consul General, Munich, Germany, with jurisdiction over the German states of Bavaria and Baden, Württemberg, Vienna, Austria, as Minister, Deputy Permanent Representative, dealing with International Atomic Energy Agency and much more, chargé d'affaires, Belgrade, Yugoslavia, during internal war leading to disintegration, Mexico as Counselor, dealing with political matters and market access to the NAFTA region, High Commissioner to Mauritius, including Indian Ocean Ring Association matters. Well, post-retirement, Ambassador Mudgal has been engaged in several voluntary assignments from time to time, important being member FICCI Task Force on Blue Economy, former member, Steering Committee on Blue Economy under PMEAC, chaired a working group on security strategic dimensions, mentor, Maritime Research Center, visiting faculty, Management Development Center, Gurgaon, senior advisor, Millennial India International Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Agriculture. Please join me in welcoming Ambassador A.K. Mudgal, sir, with a huge round of applause as our chief guest. So it's a pleasure to have you. Sir, you can go there also. Yes. Hello. Hello, sir, this is what.
Do I need it? Can you hear me?
Sir, online bhi hai to.
So there's a complication, all right. You want to also come here? So thank you very much. In fact, I heard very carefully the previous speakers, and they have very extensively covered the theme of our conversation today. In fact, I have the advantage of interacting with you twice, one as part of this ceremony, then as part of a technical session. If you look at, for example, diplomats all their life, what they do conflict resolution. Yes. Because whatever we do, there is always an element of conflict. And finality to any understanding is not arrived till you resolve those areas of conflict. Because where you agree, no problem at all. So that's not a challenge because you agree. The problem is when you disagree and a disagreement causes a conflict. Now, this conflict could be very simple conflict. This could be very complicated conflict, but you have to deal with it. And post superannuation, conflict and the way forward in terms of resolving those conflicts. Now, you see, when we talk about conflict, sometimes we get very serious. Oh my God, there's a conflict. Yes? But we forget conflict is hardwired in the human evolution. If you look at the evolutionary process, conflict is there. Without conflict, the evolution would not have been there. We will not be there as human beings if the conflict was not. Because the process of natural selection, where we say, oh, survival of the fittest and the natural selection, because the nature selects the fittest. Now, if you have to be the fittest, when you look around, you have a lot of challenges which you must overcome to be the fittest. And that creates conflict. Conflict with members of your own species, conflict with the members of other species, the conflict with the environment and surrounding. So, it is very, very deeply wired into the human behavior, conflict. Yes. I was thinking, I don't know what I would discuss with you in terms of specific conflict resolution approach. But since you are from Forest Service, my previous kind of love, let me talk to you about sustainability conflicts, which I am now dealing with as part of climate change. You see, just go back by about 15,000 years, and that is where the environment becomes conducive for human settlements. Because before that, we are all hunter-gatherers. So we are running around from one place to the other. But after the end of the Ice Age, we entered the process of settlement. We had food, agriculture, farming. As a result, there was a certain degree of comfort. Yes, compared to the hunter-gatherer life. And when you have comfort, what do? When you have comfort, you start dreaming. You have expectations, you start planning. Yes? And when you start planning, then suddenly you start seeing more hurdle in the way of achieving your dream. Because I say, oh, I have a dream, but you also have a dream. And our dreams may not match. So there are sometimes around you contradictory dreams which not necessarily match with your dream, and that becomes the cause of conflict. So the minute you have a dream, be prepared, there will be a conflict. Conflict with other factors or stakeholders who also have their dreams, and they clash with your dream. And then, of course, the human being of that generation, because started dreaming, they wanted to do undoable things which were not possible then. Because you are forest, when they came out and looked at the forest, forest was seen as a challenge, as an obstruction in their way. Rivers were seen as obstruction. Oceans were seen as obstruction. Mountains were seen as obstruction. because they were coming in the way of your dream. So we grew up considering the environment as a challenge in meeting our dream. Yes, but then what to do? Because you had only two hands. You could only perform with your two hands. Whatever you do, you can't really do much of a damage to the environment. And it went on till the Industrial Revolution. There was, in fact, gradual growth in economy, but there was a larger growth in population. So what happened during this period? While the economy was growing, population was growing much faster. As a result, prosperity was not taking place. The quality of life remained stagnant for almost 12,000 years. While you were growing, but the prosperity was not there. And that is where, in fact, the famous Malthus theory of population, where he says you can't have both. You can't have population and prosperity. You can have only one of them. Which means if you want prosperity, control population. You want population, you have to live with stagnant prosperity. Now, this was a very famous thesis. But, like you people are, like we all are, the men of technology didn't agree with this. Yes, they didn't agree with this. Because Malthus was basically talking about the carrying capacity of the planet. Because planet has a certain carrying capacity, and he was of the view that you can't exceed, your growth cannot go beyond the carrying capacity of the planet. But the people from technology, they said we will enhance the carrying capacity of the planet through technology. Yes, and that is the time when the Industrial Revolution starts. We have the steam engine, then followed by internal combustion engine, then the electric engine, then now, of course, internet and all that stuff. And this industrial revolution or technology revolution, what did it do? It gave a force multiplier to human people. Our output increased by several thousand times. And as a result, what did we do? We started controlling the environment, which we thought was an obstruction in achieving our dream. So we dammed the rivers, we bridged the rivers, we drilled the mountains, we created deforestation because we wanted greater land for our own agriculture. We started doing all those things, and as a result, if you come now to the contemporary time, humans, since you are from Forest Service, you will understand this point much better than others. Total humanity put together, our share of the planetary biomass is 0.01%, which means out of 1,000 kilos of biomass on the planet, human is only 1 kilo. That is our share in terms of our presence on the planet. But what is our share in the planetary activities? We control almost 25% of the available or accessible land on the planet. 0.1% is controlling 25%. Now look at, for example, water. Almost 55% of the available water is controlled by humans. Biodiversity. You know about mammals, mammalian biomass. 96% of the mammalian biomass are either humans themselves or the species that serve humans, which means cows and horses and all that stuff. 76% of the bird biomass are chickens and eggs. Yes? Can you imagine what we have done? Yes. So we have really exploited. We were supposed to harness the planet for environment. We exploited the environment. And as a result, we messed up the whole thing. We messed up the land. We messed up the forest. We messed up the rivers. We messed up the air. We messed up the oceans. And when I say the carrying capacity of the planet, there is something called the overshoot. Because planet has a certain capacity to regenerate resources. And when we look at the annual regenerative capacity of the planet, the day we exceed that capacity is called the overshoot day. And we have been reaching overshoot days for last almost 10-12 years in the month of July and August. You can imagine every year, almost 5 months, we are exploiting the planet beyond its capacity to repair. Now, obviously, we created a conflict, right? And how to deal with this conflict. Because when you deal with a human-to-human conflict, you have an advantage. Because your opponent speaks, your opponent has data, has an argument, can talk to you, can complain to you. But when you're dealing with environment, it doesn't have that language, right? It can't produce data to tell you, sir, what you're doing is wrong. So that negotiation, when your opponent has no language, is much more complicated than the conflict where your opponent has a language. So, in fact, when you look at the war and peace issues, when you look at interstate issues, when you look at, for example, the river water distribution issues, because the stakeholder you are dealing with has a language, they can make a sound argument to defend their interests. But when it comes to the environment, our environment has no language to argue its own case. I'm going to close. So, you have to perform both the jobs. You have to make your argument, and you have also make the argument on behalf of your opponent or maybe your partner or stakeholder, environment. Yes? Now, that is what I would suggest for you, because you are dealing with the environment on everyday basis. You must keep in mind that your interlocutor with whom you are negotiating or fellow cannot make its own case. So therefore, you have to be more generous in this conflict resolution. Yes, you cannot, because normally we have this approach to conflict resolution, we say competitive approach, which is a zero-sum game. I win, you lose. And if you're very generous, you say, all right, win-win. Right? But there is another approach, which is a very generous approach. Can you put into your opponent or your interlocutor's shoes, understand your interlocutor's requirement, and can you respond to that? When you deal with environmental conflict, please put yourself in the shoes of the environment and argue from that point of view, because environment is not your adversary. Because if you start looking at environment as an adversary, then we have a problem. Now, I could have gone into the climate change, the whole problem, and then how complicated it is today to understand the human responsibility, first in causing climate change, and now for resolving climate change, and the positions being taken by those who have messed up the environment in not taking responsibility. You know, it's a very, very complicated negotiation or conflict resolution, because for me, you know, the biggest conflict today you are facing, and thank God you are from Forest Service, you are related to that, is climate change. We call it the existential threat. I'm not calling any other war as the existential threat, but climate change is an existential threat, which means your conflict right now as Forest Service officers, the number one priority is how to prevent that climate collapse, because beyond a point, there are the tipping points in the environment, and in many cases we are very close to the tipping points, and if we breach the tipping points, then the reversal becomes nearly impossible. With our level of commitment and sincerity, I can tell you, if we breach the tipping point, we would not be able to reverse the process. Therefore, a greater responsibility on people who are dealing with the environment. Please pay attention to this conflict. Please make sure this conflict is mitigated. Please make sure that we ensure that the environment sustainability survives so that we are able to survive. So it's a very, very essential responsibility. Let's not fail on this. Yes. So with these words, because this time is tight, I'll stop here. I thank you very much. And we'll be talking in the next session. And if you have interest, we will further elaborate on those challenges and conflicts. It's not only the environmental conflict, but we'll talk about the conflicts of global transitions. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, our chief guest, Ambassador Mudgal, sir. Now, everyone, eminent officers, please acknowledge the presence of Ambassador R.M. Agarwal, sir, with a round of applause. Sir retired from the Indian Foreign Services and has been serving Amity ever since his superannuation. Thank you, R.M. Agarwal, sir, for being here. Eminent IFS officers, there are 2 lines inspired by APJ Abdul Kalam ji only for you. Those who nurture the forests, nurture the nation. Leadership, like nature, flourishes when balance is maintained between vision and humility, between growth and harmony. This is for you, eminent officers. With this, as we bring the curtain down for the inaugural ceremony, I invite Dr. Vartika Singh, Assistant Professor, Amity Institute of Global Warming and Ecological Studies, to present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sumitra ma'am. Good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, participants, respected HOIs, coordinators, faculty members, and my dear students. It's my honor and privilege to propose a formal vote of thanks on behalf of Amethi School of Natural Resource and Sustainable Development for the inaugural session of 1-week compulsory training course on effective leadership and conflict management. At the outset, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir, whose visionary leadership and inspiration continues to guide us towards academic excellence. My heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Chancellor Dr. Atul Chauhan sir for his inspiring guidance and encouragement. I extend my sincere gratitude to Honorable Vice Chancellor ma'am, Professor Dr. Barvinder Shukla ma'am, for her dynamic leadership, motivation, and constant support in all the academic and professional activities in her gracious presence in today's inaugural session. I would also extend my thanks to Dr. D.K. Bandyopadhyay sir, Chief Advisor, FPO, Chairman, Amethi Law School and Mentor, NRES Domain, and Dr. Sanjeev Bansal, Additional Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean, FMS, Director, Amethi Business School, for their valuable insight and constant mentorship in the shaping this program. We are deeply honored by the presence of our chief guest, Ambassador A.K. Mugdal sir, a retired IFS former High Commissioner, Mauritius. We thank him for his inspiring keynote address and for setting a positive tone for the week-long training course. My sincere thanks to Mr. Anand Mohan sir, IFS Additional Director General of Forest and CEO Campa, MOEFCC Government of India, for gracing inaugural session. Thank you very much, sir. I would also like to sincere thanks Dr. S.P. Singh sir, Director ASNRSD and AIGIRS and Domain Head of NRES Domain, for his guidance and leadership in planning conducting this training program. I extend my gratitude to all the respected participants who have come from the different places to attend this program. I thank to Dr. Sumitra Singh ma'am, faculty member of ALS, to have compared inaugural session. Thank you, sir. Lastly, I thanks to all the members of organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching staff of ASNRSD and AIGWS who have been involved in this particular exercise for the last many days. Above and beyond, I would like to IT team, Samar sir, ESCO team, Deepak sir, Challenge sir, Selva sir, team for their promote support and in last, I would like to thanks to each and everyone.
Thank you all for being here. Before we close the inaugural ceremony, there is an announcement. We all will assemble in front of the F2 foyer for a group picture and then proceed for high tea. Thank you so much, everyone. As I close today's inaugural ceremony, on behalf of Honorable Founder President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, goodbye and God bless everybody. Thank you so much. We can now close the online session, sir.